Like this, huh? Wrong. That's a certain a hyperbole of a stone, something like this. And here you tie the rope and you throw it overboard and it holds the boat anchored down below. You found something like this, you know, you're on a fisherman's compound. Fisherman, but this was taken away because that's the easiest thing to take away and the first thing to disappear. So they took it for safekeeping into another place. They put the right sign. Indeed, it was a fisherman's compound. But let's move away from the sun until treated. By the border, they do have the units there. But this, which used to
Bethsaida. And I hope everybody, we were strung out when Amnon was talking about the rocks back there, but that was the original street 2,000 years ago. Talking about when he walked through the streets and they touched the hem of his garment. So take pictures of that street if you haven't already. But I'm reading now from the 8th chapter of the Gospel according to Mark, beginning at verse 22. Then he came to Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man to him and begged him to touch him. So he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands on him, he asked him if he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see men walking like trees walking. Then he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored and saw everyone clearly. And he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town nor tell anyone in the town. Just like the blind man who went to the pool of Siloam and came back seeing. Jesus causes us to be able to see. And you know I'm not talking about physical sight, but he gives us the light. He's the light of the world. He causes us to perceive spiritually. And those of you who know him and study his word and pray, this continues to come to you. And it has on this trip. As we say, there are a lot of ahas wherever you go. In Wheatfield or at Bethsaida. 3 disciples at least lived here. Of the 7 possible disciples that were fishermen among the disciples of Jesus. But we're his disciples now, his learners, his followers. And let's be good disciples. Let's set a good example. Not just here, but everywhere that we go. You ever prayed in Bethsaida before? Let's do it now.
like symbol, it's just a doorstop. This here, where the giant gates closing against it.
That's a dumb question. What are we talking about? I mean, what is this?
Wait.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you can see it's a city.
Okay.
Okay. You can see it's a city, and we are coming from inside outside. Here is the pavement coming from the marketplace, passing through 2 guard rooms, and here the hints of the gate that was here. Stop by this stone. Open up this way. And here you're outside. And which town is it? It's the town we were talking about, the town of Geshur.
Geshur.
That will be connected to David through his son Absalom, whose grandfather on his mother's side was the king of Geshur. And this was his capital. And so
Geshur. It's just walking distance from Bethsaida.
This probably just to remind ourselves of that fire that destroyed Geshur, which was burned by the Assyrians, 732 before Common Era. And we do know that the Assyrians came down from the north, slowly slicing not only from the northern kingdom of Israel, but from the neighboring countries as well. That's when this fell into the Syrians. Friends, come out of the city to the outer city square. Outer city square, and turn around, and now instead of outgoing, you are incoming. All right? You just came in after 3 long months on the road. You brought your merchandise, and before you would be allowed to go in, if at all, that's the marketplace where you will sell your things. This here is the seating of the elders of the community. And not only that, since you're incoming, and after 3 long months on the road, now that you're here in safety, you would like to bring some sacrifice to your own God. And look in C2, in its original place, the ritual corner. That's where I guess they will bring some sacrifices or spill the blood of those birds or lambs that they will bring as sacrifices. And not only that, on the 2 sides of the entrance, and certainly you can see it's not natural stone. It's a special stone. This is what the Bible in Hebrew will call matseva. And from the Hebrew into English, matseba, mazeba, and had something to do with a ritual. And generally, the Bible fights it. The Bible looks at this because it is connected to pagan ritual in a negative light. Though we all do know that when Jacob is running away from his brother onward, and he stops to have that special dream with a ladder, you know, he's sleeping, putting a stone right under his head, and after the dream in the morning, he takes it and turns it as a matzeba to the Lord, swearing that if you bring me back in peace, etc., 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 this will be a sign. But in general, matzebot like this were a sign of pagan ritual, and as such, the Bible time and again is trying to fight it because it made its inroads into our midst as well. And eventually, kings like Hezekiah and Josiah will take care of this matzebot completely out of commission all over the country. But this was here because now as newcomers, or comers, incoming into the city, here you say, hello, thank you, hello, thank you. And maybe over here you put your votive offering after you spill the blood of that bird over there. I do not know, and the rest is up to you. Be your own.
How are they different from the stones that God told